Hey team, Coach Jake here, and today I want to shoot this quick video on a question that keeps coming up in our groups with all of our online clients coming on board, and that is, how do I lose tummy fat? Okay, everybody wants to know how to lose tummy fat. Okay, so this video is going to be all about that. So the first thing we need to do is bust a couple of myths. Okay, and the first myth is that everyone believes there's some mythical exercises that are going to just burn fat off our tummy. In other words, that doesn't exist, by the way. In other words, they think if I do a million sit-ups, I'm going to burn this fat that's on my tummy. Okay, it doesn't quite work like that. The best exercises to burn fat from your tummy is basically burning fat in general, which is exercises that require a lot of energy. And that typically means a lot of larger muscle groups like the legs, okay, and multi-joint exercises, okay, what we call compound movements, okay? And the other part of the exercise puzzle there, so you've got, big muscles, compound movements, and that uses a lot of energy. So example, squats, lunges, push-ups, kettlebell clean and press, things like that, okay, that use a lot of energy. And the second thing is to do them at high intensity, or what we call HIIT training, high intensity interval training, okay? So you'll be far more effective to work intensely for a period of time and then rest and repeat like we do in our workouts, okay, as opposed to going for a walk, which is a low intensity exercise over a longer duration, typically, okay? I hope that makes sense. So that's from the exercise point of view. But the more important thing when it comes to burning tummy fat is your hormones, okay? So if you have an abundance of tummy fat relative to the rest of your body, in other words, you've got a bigger belly and say skinny arms, skinny legs, skinny in other areas of your body, that's probably going to be a hormonal imbalance, okay? 90% chance that's the case. So what it does mean is that you're very likely to be high in cortisol, okay? So cortisol is a stress hormone that leads to tummy fat, okay? Now, for some of you, that might be really obvious. Yeah, I'm super stressed, okay? There might be other people sitting there saying, well, I'm not stressed, but I have tummy fat, so that can't be right. Well, maybe, but maybe not, okay? Because there's many different types of stress, okay? So automatically we go to kind of mental stress and we think, I'm either stressed or I'm not stressed mentally, okay? But there are other types of stress too. There's physical stress, okay? So maybe you're over exercising, okay? Or more likely, undersleeping, in other words, not recovering very, very well. There can be dietary stress, so maybe you're consuming too much caffeine, other stimulants, or alcohol, okay, are the most common ones. Medications can be causing your body stress. And one that people often forget about is food intolerances. So maybe you're intolerant to something, or your body doesn't quite like one type of food that you're eating quite regularly, quite a lot. The common ones are gluten, dairy, certain vegetables and spices and things like that. Different people react differently too. Now, the only way you're going to know for sure is to get that tested, which is quite extensive. But if there's one that just pops in your head, actually, yeah, I've been eating a lot of yogurt or, alcohol and caffeine. If you're having 3, 4, 5 coffees a day, it could be caffeine, depending on how caffeine sensitive you are. So what you need to understand is that every person is completely different. Okay? You can't say, my friend Jenny, she eats that and she's lost all this weight, but I'm eating the same and I'm not losing the weight, because every person is different. You might be intolerant to some of the things that she's really, her body can process fine, like gluten's a good example. If your body can process the gluten fine, there's no problem. But if you're intolerant to it, then you have a problem. You're going to feel lousy, but remember, you will kind of get used to that feeling after a while, but it doesn't mean your body's going to stop reacting poorly to it. In other words, you maybe affect your sleep, it'll increase inflammation, which increases your stress hormone, which increases your tummy fat, okay? So there's more than one thing we need to look at here. I hope that's making sense now. So out of all of what we've spoken about, hopefully there's 1 or 2 things that pop into your head like, yeah, actually, I haven't been sleeping very well, okay? or I'm waking up really tired, or I need to get more sleep, or, you know, I can reduce my caffeine. I can deal with my stress better. So when it does come to mental stress, you know, if we think about how we've evolved over the generations and the hundreds and thousands of years, it's only been really, really recently where a lot of people haven't had any kind of natural downtime. Okay. And what I mean by that is now we carry these things around, they're beeping at us all the time. Yeah, we're constantly on edge, you know, even though you might not feel like it because you're used to it. But, you know, can you sit there with your phone next to you, and when it lights up, like, what do, right? Straight away, you're like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Right? That's actually a form of stress. And if you're not letting your brain switch off and shut down for periods of time, okay, outside of sleep, then you're overloading your capacity. Okay, it's like a computer; it only has a certain capacity of work. It has to have rest and recovery as well. So it could be something as simple as switching your phone on silent, or developing some meditation habits, or doing something relaxing every day. Because if you're juggling kids, work, you know, phones, emails, social media, all these kind of things that are coming at us all the time, that can be really overwhelming and stressful. Okay, so if tummy fat's an issue, you've got to think, how can I reduce my cortisol, which is the main stress hormone? And obviously we've gone through a bunch of different ones or reasons why you could be stressing yourself out. Hopefully there's one or two that you can see that, hey, yeah, that could be me. And what I want you to do is go away and work on those things, whether it's getting a better sleep, trying cutting one or two different things out of your nutrition, reducing the alcohol, reducing the coffee, reducing the sugar is another big one as well. Developing a sleep ritual so you get a better night's sleep, because that's when our body can recover and get back to hormonal balance. Okay, so there's so many different things. Hope that helps. If any questions, pop them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. All right, guys, thanks. Bye-bye.